started. Okay. Hello, my name is Grayson Path, and today I will be doing a speech on how to properly plan a trip. So the first step is to choose the details. You need to decide how much time you have. If you have a week, if you have 2 weeks, you don't want to spend all your time trying to get there through flying or driving. And the next step is, who are you traveling with? Are you traveling by yourself? Are you traveling with your friends or with your family? And that allows you to work around their schedules as well, because they also have work or school. The next detail is, where are you going to go? Are you going to stay in America, or will you be going overseas? And then you can also figure out if they're able to do that. Because I know every country has different requirements for how you can go there to travel. The next one is, when are you going? Do you want to go during the summer, or the spring, or the fall, or the winter? And you have to work around that. If you want to be swimming, it's not the best idea to go during the winter. The next one is, what type of experience? Do you want to go and have a trip where you're relaxing on a beach, or where you're snorkeling, or where you're hiking? Because I know there's some areas that you can't go hiking in, and there are some, so you have to work around that as well. Now, my question for y'all is, what's y'all's dream vacation, and what would y'all want to do on a dream vacation?
Barbados.
What would you want to do there?
Swim and tan and have fun and party.
What about you?
Probably Italy.
What about you, Charles?
Ireland.
Zoe?
Probably Asia.
Okay. This next step is step 2, and you need to save money. You need to do research and figure out how much it is to buy food, or the hotels, or the flights, or anything else you need to buy there, to make sure you have enough money. Because you would hate to go there and realize you didn't bring enough money. Because then you may be short of buying food, or you may be short of buying souvenirs. The third step is to book flights if you're going overseas. Because if you're going overseas, you can't walk or drive there. And so I use Skyscanner to plan trips. And how you use Skyscanner, it gives you the best prices, and then it gives you the option of going directly to the site by clicking select, or you can go and you can Google it yourself. Now I printed out some pages, and so for me, I have me going to Sydney, Australia. It gives you the destination where you're deporting from, where you're going, your dates, and then what type of seating do you want. So I picked basic economy because I'm not rich. And then it gives you this page where it gives you all the best prices that you could choose from. And this one's giving us Qantas for the best, and then it goes to Virgin Australia, and then American Airlines, which is the best. Then after you choose the prices you want to use, you go here and it gives you 3 selections. Which one's the sale price, which is the cheapest, and then the saver, and then the flex. And depending on which one you choose, the saver, you get really no points. And then if you pick the flex, you get more points. You don't have to do a cancellation fee to cancel last minute. And then that's what I would do for step 3 of booking flights.
What's the name of that?
Skyscanner.
Skyscanner.
You just look it up, it's usually the first option.
Okay.
The step 4 is booking accommodations. And this one's where you need to figure out where you want to stay. Do you want to get a hotel, or do you want to get an Airbnb, or anything like that? If you're staying in America, if you want to be a little adventurous, you could rent an RV and just travel and not have to get urban accommodations. If the place you're going allows you to just park anywhere you want to. And then the step 5 is getting around. If everything is close to where you're staying, you could just walk everywhere. But if everything's a while away, you need to consider getting an Uber or a taxi. And if they have a specific train system, you could use it, but you also need to look into what they require to know, like places in England and New York. You have to have a specific card for that to make sure that you're not required to have this card. If you have to have a card, you need to get the process of getting one just to make sure you can get around. And you also need to bring money for using taxis or Ubers. And the 6th step is things to do and see. It goes back to step 1. You need to figure out what you want to do there. Do you want to explore? Do you want to tour around a specific area that's not really many people go? Do you want to go hiking? Do you want to swim? Do you just want to relax? Or do you want to stay in your hotel the whole time and relax? And then if you're trying to explore, you need to figure out where you're going there for. Is there a specific restaurant you want to go to, or a landmark that you want to see? Then step 7 is places to eat and drink. If you have a specific diet, whether it's vegan or gluten-free or keto diet, you have to make sure there's restaurants in that area for you to specifically eat at. would also suggest using Google Maps and using the street view to figure out where everything is. When you're there, you're not completely lost. Step 7 is making copies of important documents. Stuff can happen, and you can lose documents, or if you're booking reservations, that can get messed up, and maybe it's not booked, even though it said it was booked. So I would passports, visas if your country that you're traveling to requires visas for traveling. Anything you book, flights, hotel reservations. Make sure you have that. So if you have the actual proof that you booked it, and hopefully they'll consider it as an option that you'll give it to you anyways. And then I would also say that you've got an email confirmation, having a specific file in your email that you have just for everything that you booked, have that confirmation for. So you have everything that you can prove that you booked it and you're where you're supposed to be. They're not trying to think that you're scamming them. Step 9 is phone and internet access. If you're out of America, if you're in America, it's pretty easy because you can use your phone, whether you're on Wi-Fi or not. But if you're out of America, it can get tricky because you can't really use your phone without being charged if you're not in America. So that's where you can consider getting an unlocked phone to use a local SIM card, or using Wi-Fi at a hotel or a local cafe. Or you can just make it, if the area is safe or you're going in and you feel comfortable, you can go with no phone if you're safe and everything. The step 10 is accessing your money, because obviously like a normal person, you're going to want to buy souvenirs, you're going to need food, coffee, anything else you need to buy. And so there's 3 options you could go about that. The first one is cash, which I feel like is the safest way because you won't have to risk your card numbers getting stolen. The only problem with that is if your cash got stolen, you're out of options and you have no money to spend. The second option is debit cards. I would look for a debit card that has no foreign currency exchange fees and has no ATM fees worldwide, so you're not getting charged extra money. And then for a credit card, same thing for a debit card. Look for something that has no conversion fees and has rewards for hotels and flights. And then the second step, the 11th step, is to purchase travel insurance. I read similar to saying if you can't afford to purchase travel insurance, you can't afford to go on trips. It's not worth the risk because you can cancel your trip unexpectedly. You can get sick or injured on the trip, or hurricanes. So it's a safer way to travel, so you have that peace of mind if something happens. The 12th step is to confirm flights and housing reservations school days before you leave, so you know if make sure your times and your dates are right. Because it would be bad if you get there and you realize that you booked the wrong time, or you're late, or you miss your flight. And also a good time to make sure you book the dates right, so you won't have to stay somewhere else besides what you planned. The 13th step is to have fun and be safe. And I want to thank you all for listening to my speech.
Thank you.
Where is this one? Hello, my name is Grayson Patton, and today I will be doing a speech on how to plan for a trip. So the first step is to choose the details. You need to figure out how long you have, whether it's 4 days or a week. You need to go from there, where you want to go, and everything. The second step is who are you going to travel with. You're going to figure out if you're going by yourself, if you're going to go with friends or your family. They need to figure out their schedules and when they can go between their work or school. The next step is where are you going to go. You need to figure out if you're going domestic or you're going to go out overseas somewhere, and then figure out if whoever you're going with is able to go with you. The next step is when are you going to go. If there's a specific season like winter or summer or fall or spring that you want to go with. And then the next step is what type of experience are you looking for? Do you want something where you can go hiking, or somewhere you want to go swimming, or just to relax? So I have a question for you all. What is your dream vacation and what would you want to do?
Antarctica.
What you, Hannah?
Tahiti.
You?
Africa.
Good choices. Okay. The second step is to save money. You need to research about how much the food is there. Or if you want souvenirs, you need to figure out how much it typically costs you to buy something from there. Then you also need to research airline tickets and hotel costs to see how much. And then you need to make a specific account, whether it's in your head or in your bank account. You need to set money aside for that specific trip and nothing else, and make rules that you can't go into that saving account and it's just specifically for the trip. The third step is booking flights if you're going overseas. Well, I would like to go on this app called Skyscanner, and it gives you the best prices for them each. And I will actually be showing you how to do that today. So I printed out some pages. So this is what it looks like when you go to the site. I picked, for the fun of it, Sydney, Australia. So it'll give you what airport you're leaving from, and then where you're going, and then it has a date when you're going to depart and when you're going to return. And then right here gives you the seat type. I picked economy just to be cheaper. And then after you fill all the information out, it gives you the cheapest price. The best price is always on the top. And then it goes down from cheapest to most expensive. And it goes by the cheapest airline places. So this one, the cheapest was Qantas, and then it goes to Virgin Australia and American Airlines. So after you choose the best price that works for you, you push select. Then that will take you to this page. Then it gives you 3 different options. You can choose the sale price, which is the cheapest, but if you do the sale price, you get a certain amount of points and a certain amount of credit for it. But if you have to cancel it, it gives you a higher price you have to pay. And then the saver, it's pretty much a little more expensive, but it gives you more credit and less to pay for a cancellation fee. But if you get the flex, it gives you more points, more credit, and then you don't have to pay a cancellation fee or anything. And then after that, you pretty much just have to go through the payment process and sign some stuff saying that you're responsible for everything. Then step 4 is booking accommodations. You need to figure out where you're going to stay. Are you going to do an Airbnb? Are you going to stay in a hotel or a condo or a beach house, depending on where you're going? And if you want to be adventurous, and if you're staying in America, you can always rent an RV and just travel through the RV and stop in different places. And if you have to make sure the requirements that you have or will allow you to stay in an RV on a beach or in a parking lot to make sure you don't get in trouble. Step 5 is getting around. You need to decide if you want to use Ubers or taxis, or if you want to walk, or you want to use a train system. And then if you're going to use a train system, I know specific train systems like in England and New York, they require you to have certain cards for them. So if that's a case for that train system, you do need to do research to make sure if you need to get the card, you can do the process to get that card to be on the train system. If you want to, if everything's close together, you could walk everywhere, but I would recommend using Google Maps and getting a feel of where everything is, so you know when you get there, it's not like you're completely lost. And I would pay, so if you use taxis or Ubers, I would suggest bringing extra money just for that, because I know that this costs a lot of money. Step 6 is things to do and see. You need to make sure that you have an idea of what you want to do there, whether it's a specific restaurant you want to see or a specific landmark, or if you just want to be there just to relax and de-stress and everything. I would use something like Pinterest or guidebooks, or even Google, or ask around, see if anyone's been there. You can get them their advice on what's the best place and safest area for you to go to. Step 7 is places to eat and drink. If you have a specific diet, like the keto diet or vegan or gluten-free or whatnot, you need to make sure there's places that you can eat and drink at that's near your hotel, so you're not having to drive away or very far away, or you can just walk if it's safe. I would also Google Maps that to make sure that it's walking distance, or it's at least not going to be expensive if you have to use a taxi or Uber. Now, step 8 is making copies of important documents, because stuff can go wrong and you can lose something, or if you book something, the reservation can mess up. And if you get there and saying that you didn't book it, but you did, it could be a really tricky situation. So like anything like visas, if it's needed for the country you're going to, or your passport, booking reservations, flight reservations, I would have it all in pieces of paper in a like a locked up case, so if it gets lost, you won't have to worry about it being broken into or anything. I would also save like confirmation emails in a folder specifically for that, so it doesn't get mixed in with a bunch of other spam emails. Step 9 is phone and internet access. If you're staying in America, it's pretty much easy to use your phone anywhere you go because you don't need Wi-Fi. But if you're going out of America, that's where it gets tricky, because you get charged to use your phone out of America. So you can always consider an unlocked phone to use a local SIM card, or you can use Wi-Fi at the hotel or local cafe. Or you can just consider if the area is safe and you feel comfortable, you can just use no phones and just have a vacation-free phone. Step 10 is accessing your money. There's 3 options that you could use money at wherever you're going. If it's safe and you can use cash, just to make sure that there's no way that your credit card number, your debit card number could get stolen, especially in a foreign country where it's not the best area sometimes. You could use a debit card. If you use a debit card, I would recommend using a bank that charges no foreign currency exchange fees and has no ATM fees worldwide. If you use a credit card, I would suggest getting a credit card that has no currency conversion fees and has rewards for hotels and flights. Step 11 is purchasing travel insurance. I read somewhere, I've always been told that if you cannot afford to pay for travel insurance, you cannot afford to go on trips. And it's always risky not to, just because anything can happen. You could get sick or injured on your trip, or you could have to cancel unexpectedly, or a hurricane. It's not worth risking and stressing over anything that can happen last minute. Step 12 is confirming flights and housing reservations. I would suggest a couple days before you leave, make sure that your flight reservations are the same time, same date that you're supposed to be leaving, so you don't miss your flight or you get there 5 hours early. I would also suggest making sure your hotel or Airbnb reservations are also correct, so you're not getting there very early or you're not missing your reservation. The 13th step is to have fun and be safe. You have fun, but make sure you're using street smarts. I want to thank you for all listening to my speech. That was awful.
It was good.
I did better with the other one.